welcome back to another episode of Bridg in the Gap. We want to say thank you so very much for tuning in to this episode. And if it is your first time, welcome. But if you are a returning guest, then we welcome you back and we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. So today we will be talking about dating non-negotiables. Ooh, it's going to get real juicy today. This is the biggest one. So stay prepared. And then we also just want to say, if you have not yet subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 50 subscribers. And once we hit that 50th subscriber, we will do the first of many giveaways. So you don't want to miss it. So let's just get right on in. Let's start with Mama. Mama, do you want to share some of your dating non-negotiables? Like what just you don't even want them?
So for me, while I'm not really into, how can I say this? So you only have one time to make a first impression. So for me, the number one non-negotiable that I would have to say is, as soon as a man opens up his mouth to speak to me, if his dental is hijacked, and he has some members missing out of his mouth, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm sorry, because like that right there. Dental is everything. Having excellent oral care is essential to good health. So that's one thing.
I'm right there with you. Now, if he got dentures, would that change anything, or still a
You know what? I don't know if I would have a problem with dentures or not, but you have every other tooth is missing and you have rotten teeth in your mouth, that is going to cause my number one non-negotiable, which is halitosis. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound superficial like that, but from my earliest dating experience, that has always been at the top of my list. Because I'm looking at you when we talk to each other, we generally look in eyes and look in faces, and I'm looking at your mouth, and if stuff is missing and other things are flying out, I'm not going to be able to do it. So
yeah, waking up that every morning is enough.
And it's going to be hot when you wake up in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to be able to do it. My next thing is, keeping down the hygiene road, is dirty fingernails.
Oh, I can't.
I absolutely cannot stand. And you know what? It's nothing wrong with a working man, hard working man. There's nothing wrong with a man that works with his hands. And I know few, and I can tell you this, their fingernails are absolutely beautiful. I mean, they really take pride in that. And so that's second on my list. And I'm gonna throw one more out there, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Jaleesa. But the next one on my list, and other than the first one, the rest are in no certain order, but I am a very happy, optimistic, positive person. I cannot stand a pessimist. I don't want to be around anybody like that that's going to bring down my energy and drain me. Somebody who always sees the glass as half full. Half empty instead of half full. I'm not going to be able to do it. So that's 3 for me. I have some more.
Yeah.
But, okay, so Jaleesa, tell us some of yours.
Okay, so first of all, I like those non-negotiables because that list is pretty intense, but I get it. I understand it. So 3 of mine, and then of course I want to hear 3 of Jasmine's in addition to the rest of her list. I feel like it may be more than 3. My first non-negotiable is someone that doesn't believe in something higher than themselves. I do not want to be with someone who thinks they are the end all be all, or that there isn't, something greater out there. And I'm not talking about necessarily from a religious standpoint, but just, I feel like we all need something higher to believe in.
I agree.
And then going along with that, I also, I don't want to be with someone that does not know how to pour into others, because
that's a good one.
Yes. Because I try my best to pour into others, and I need that from time to time. Cannot always pour into everybody else without getting that back, or else I end up feeling drained. And Jazz, you and I have talked about that before, because that's something that we also look for in our platonic, friendships and relationships with, friends and family. And then lastly, for now, is someone that never has anything to say good about women, especially women that have been in their lives, like once they've dated. If every single woman that they dated was problematic or had issues or wasn't a good person, and there's no accountability there, I cannot do it. I mean, because I'm able to be like, you know what? I think I made a mistake when I chose, this particular partner, but this is why I made that, mistake. This is what I was going through in my life, that I felt like that person was a suitable mate for me when they really weren't. I just feel like that's also a part of maturity. Is being able to, take accountability. And with that being said, Jazz,
what some really good ones.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, I really, really thought about what I wanted in my next partner in person. And those are some things that I'm not willing to budge on.
Yeah. So some heavy hitters up there. I love it.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, I can't do a hardcore criminal. Like if you unaliving people, you scamming, you robbing, you trafficking. I can't do it. I can't do it. So it's
goes back to character
and morality.
Also lacks emotional intelligence.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I can't. And then another one I have is if they're not present in their child or children's lives and they have the capabilities, because I know sometimes some moms be out there where, keeping the kids, but if you have the capabilities to see your child and you choosing not to, don't even come this way.
I like that one. And believe it or not, that's actually that's another one on my list, kind of, sort of. I said someone that doesn't have, someone that doesn't have kids or a good relationship with the children that they do have.
Like, it's so important.
Yeah. And why is that just the absolute non-negotiable for you? Is it how it makes you view the person, or just the situation overall?
That's the way I view the person, because it's like, if you can't take care of the person that you help bring into this world, then that says a lot about you, and I'm probably not going to be somebody that you take care of.
Right.
I think it's a lot.
Yeah. And then you think about your kids too.
Yes. And that's like, what I look like having you in my children's lives, and you don't even your own children's lives.
Right.
But you know what? Surprisingly, there are a lot of women out there that are like that. And I mean, for me, that gives me the ick. Like there's something wrong. So that's a red flag for sure.
There's too many men out here.
Yes. Yes. Well, look, everybody's starting off all strong.
Yeah.
3 hitters. I'm like, look, I'm in total agreement with those.
And then like some of the ones that you all mentioned that I did have is like with Mama, I can't do poor hygiene, bad breath, like like if you don't have a water flosser, I don't think we can I don't think it's gonna get there.
Well, in his defense, you might have to introduce him to it if he didn't have.
Okay, I can do that, but he gotta take care of it.
Yeah.
And look, at this big age,
at this big age, stuff's starting to fall out now. You gotta take care of it. So can't do it. And then like what you said, Jaleesa, one that I had that was really similar was lacks accountability.
Ooh, yes. If nothing is ever his fault, like nothing,
keep stepping.
Yeah. Especially when you know how to take accountability for, like, even though it's hard for me to be like, you know what, I was wrong, I can do it, and it's okay to be like, you know what,
I was wrong.
Yeah, because I'm human, and honestly, it humanizes people, which makes you more attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, a man that can say, you know what, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Yes.
Apologize is huge.
Right.
And then not even just apologize, but actually like take the steps to correct it.
Yes. That's important because without those steps, an apology means nothing at all. Think about it. If a person keeps apologizing for doing the same thing over and over again, that's really a sign of disrespect.
I was that's say that. Yeah, because after a while it does.
It's disrespectful. Yeah, it's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Oh, you take me for a joke.
Literally.
I wouldn't take you for no joke. Look, I didn't see you in action, Jasmine. She ain't no joke, y'all. There's nothing to play about.
You gotta stop. But no, okay. So Mama, we're gonna go back to you.
Okay.
What else you have for us?
The next thing that I have on my list as a non-negotiable is somebody that's not goal-oriented. And what I mean by that is, okay, so I'm older, so I would be dating, of course, somebody older. And maybe this person has retired or something like that. But even if you strive to, I'm going to learn a new word every day, I'm going to do something every day to make myself a better person. To me, that's being goal-oriented, because what you are demonstrating is you want to be a better person tomorrow than you are today. And so that's huge. Somebody that's constantly striving to better themselves is huge. That's huge with me. So that's one of my non-negotiables.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Another one is somebody who has anger issues.
Ooh.
And I get that we can all get a little angry or get upset sometimes, but somebody with anger issues, to me, is a dangerous person.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I'm not going to be able to tolerate or do. And how would I know the person has anger issues? You can typically tell when somebody has anger issues because literally the slightest little thing will
they go from 0 to 100.
Yeah, they go from 0 to 100, and they will blow up over the slightest little thing. And again, some people are very good at hiding it, but you really have to use your discernment and pay attention, because they may think that they're good at hiding it, but you can tell. Right. You can definitely tell when somebody has anger issues.
Especially if little things set them off.
Little things. I'll give you another good indication somebody has anger issues by the way that they drive. If they're a really aggressive driver, you can just about bet that they have anger issues.
And it's scary being in cars.
Oh, it's very scary. I have been in a car too with somebody who, yes. And that was a red flag for me too. The way that this person drove was absolutely a red flag. And I was like,
yep. I'm gonna pull back.
Yeah. Just
to go back.
Touch on one of the ones you said earlier is like no sense of direction. Like that would also be one for me too, because one, you can't lead me nowhere if you don't know where to go.
That's right. Preaching.
And then number two, if you don't have a sense of direction, you may not care that much about your life.
Right.
And so yeah, you probably gonna get into something that I don't be in. So
oh, that's a really deep way of looking at it, but it's so true. That's a profound way to look at it. Is, I guess, if you don't set goals, that would translate into you don't care about what happens. And that may not necessarily be the case, but it definitely would read like that. That's what it's giving.
Yep.
So along that vein, I'll give a little story. So I was dating a person, and I really was attracted to this person. I feel like they were really attracted to me. And in another space and time, I think we would have been good together, but this person absolutely did not have it together. He did not have his life together. And I can understand why he had extenuating circumstances, probably in early childhood that led to that. But it just was, where I am in life compared to where he was, it was not going to work. And I'm not one, this is another thing I don't believe in. I don't believe in a Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't come to me with your package complete, it's nothing that I can do.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nothing I can do. And from somebody coming from my perspective, being older, that's the one thing that I would stress to younger women is try to, if you can, and nobody is going to be perfect, but they should very much be close to where you are in life, because if it's anything else, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
If I got to help you, which to me, I don't even get that concept. Women helping a man. Now, if it was different, if we were married, we married, my husband lost his job, that's a different thing. But me meeting you and you asking me, can you borrow $25 for some gas money? Come on, girl. Come on. So,
yeah.
No, that's not a real.
You're not going to no Tyler Perry movie.
Not at all. A real man, and you know what? Let's just be honest. A real man is not going to ask a woman for anything. Like a real man, like that's a whole man's nature. They're hunters, they're providers, and a real man is not going to turn to you and say, "Hey, do you think you can do X, Y, Z for me, or can I borrow?" Like, come on,
in this with this particular non-negotiable. A lot of times I look to the men in my family, or in our family rather. And the one thing that I will say, my brothers are not perfect individuals. I know that, I tend to brag a lot on them, but one thing I can confidently brag about and I take pride in is that my brothers absolutely are not comfortable taking things from women. My youngest brother has always been like that, especially once we started working. He rather work overtime as opposed to ask a woman for anything. And he was just like, it's just something about him having to ask a woman for something. He said just the thought of it makes him feel embarrassed and ashamed. And I'm like, wow. And then of course, going to Cedric, same thing. He was like, he absolutely refuses to ask a woman for anything because he's just like, it makes him feel less than. And I'm like, if my brothers have this attitude and this mentality, And I look at them, you know, again, they are not perfect individuals, but I do like that they have that standard for themselves. Then why would I not look for that in, you know, somebody that I'm dating?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, and it's admirable. And not to, you know, I just definitely a non-negotiable, somebody not having their stuff together. And it is hard enough, you know, motivating yourself sometimes. What do I look like having to pull somebody to, you know, come on, do this. Don't you want to do, like, no, I don't have it in me. I the older I get, the less my patience.
Tolerance.
Yeah.
You're
What
tolerant.
with that is, I think that's true early on in a relationship. Like early on, a guy should not be asking you for no money or nothing.
Right.
But if y'all didn't put in some time, he didn't show you that he got his own and he just has a bad day, or something, that's different. So I just do want to put that out there.
Yes, you are so right.
Because I don't want somebody to hear this and be like, oh, they saying women that can't ever help out their man. And it's like, no, not that. It's just early on, a man should not be asking you for nothing.
Because like something that I always was like, I would be willing to do is, you know, people change careers all the time. So say, you know, I was with someone and they were, you know, working in corporate America, and they decided, you know what, actually, I love driving. I want to drive trucks. And we know right now there's a lot of money to be made in truck driving. So if I had the means to, you know, be like, you know what, go ahead and take on that career change. You go ahead and you go to truck driving school. I'll handle everything while you're doing that, because that's a job within itself. I have no problem doing that, because ultimately this career change is to better our lives. So we are a team and we are in this together. So I have no problem with that.
So I would add, in a marriage,
yes,
if this would not be, you are my boyfriend and I'm your girlfriend, and because again, what's to say that after he finishes truck driving school, you don't meet somebody on the road and get off truck driving school and go on about your business? Because I mean, that has happened. So that right there.
Yeah, but
I don't mind giving $25 for lunch every now and again.
That's
all I'm saying.
Like you said, if you are in a long-term relationship, hey, I know this person is solid. I know this person is trustworthy. Okay, you was a little short this week, or anything, you know, something like that.
Because
life happens. This is a given, you know, and we are supposed to be there for each other. It's not transactional, you know, like it's, I'm there for you and you for me. So there's nothing wrong with that. But you meet somebody like, hey, you just started talking to somebody, and the guy is like,
I hold $5.
You know, like, you know what, I was trying to come see you, but
I'm a little short on gas.
I'm a little short on gas. You know, you weren't trying to come see me
at all. Something else is like, you don't got nobody closer in your life you can ask for that money for.
That's a red flag because if you don't have somebody close to you that you can ask, and you gotta come ask me, that lets me know that you done ran through everybody. So no, I'm not gonna be able to do it at all.
Flag.
Huge red flag.
Like, you don't even know my last name.
And then I think it's getting ready to bounce back to me. I did have a few more on my list that I felt were really, really important, as they are non-negotiable. So one of them is a foul mouth. If every other word out of your mouth is a swear word, or you refer to people derogatory in a derogatory manner, I cannot do it. It's not attractive. It's nothing cute about it. And then I just feel like at our age, there's nothing wrong with, a swear word every now and again, but I feel like you should be able to effectively communicate without every word being a profanity. And then with everything that's going on in the world, I absolutely will not compromise when it comes to somebody lacking political awareness. If you do not vote or you don't get involved with, politics, on any level, if you don't care, you say it has nothing to do with you or anything like that, I cannot do it. Especially with voting and just everything having to do with politics being so important and so vital today. That's just not something that I'm willing to budge on. And then finally, someone that lacks integrity or respect for others. I pay attention when I've gone out on dates. I paid attention to how men have talked to and treated the wait staff, because that's important to me. I want to make sure that, I'm seeing you treat any and everybody with kindness and respect, because to me it says a lot about you. So those are my final non-negotiables when it comes to dating. And what about you, Jad?
I had a few more. So if you don't have a sense of humor,
I love to laugh.
Yeah. I love to laugh. Like, I laugh literally every single day, and if I can't laugh with you, we not gonna go nowhere. If you don't get my jokes, and I always gotta explain my jokes,
That's exhausting.
Yeah, it really is.
It is.
It's not gonna work. If you got a bad relationship with your family, like, I can understand some people got, some family members a little, but the whole family,
it's not them, it's you. Right.
It's you. Like, you don't get along with nobody in the family.
Right.
Can't do it. If you don't know how to pray, I feel like I need somebody who's gonna cover me.
I like that.
Yeah, if you don't know how to pray, you can't pray. You never prayed before.
You don't believe in prayer.
Oh, yes.
Don't believe in prayer.
Oh, I think if I had a man tell me, baby, let me pray for you, I'll be like, the weight of my heart would flutter.
I'm saying.
I feel like that's one of the most intimate things somebody can do.
It's beautiful. And to pray.
Yeah.
So you can't do that for me. If they're too feminine, like, they don't like to get dirty, they like to get they don't want to change a tire, they don't want to change the oil every now and again, like, won't roll up the sleeves. They gotta hire everybody to do stuff around the house.
You can't do it.
I can't do it. I wanna see a little sweat every now and again. A little muscle pop out.
Practice seeing a man that take charge.
Yes, being a man. So,
sounds like my neighbor.
Right. Okay, people, when I say not only is the man physically attractive, shout out to you if you are watching this, neighbor next door. He can literally do everything. He fixes cars. He put up a fence. He built the fence. Okay. He tends to his lawn, which he has one of the nicest lawns on.
I've never seen a man that can, like,
is
there nothing that you cannot do?
He smoked meats. He's a phenomenal cook. When I say we ask so often, what can't he do? Because it just seems like he literally can do everything.
When I say that man can do everything, and he gorgeous too.
See, that would have me acting like Loretta Devine and Wait to Exhale. That's exactly how I
feel.
You know what? He's married, and his wife is beautiful.
She really, really sweet. I think they are equally yoked. Yeah. I think that they're lucky to have one another. That's how
they're
it's
beautiful couple.
Yeah. But man, he might be the blueprint.
See that right there.
Yeah.
Okay, my last final one is if they lack depth. Like, I like to learn, and so if you can't teach me something,
Oh, that's a good one.
it's not gonna go nowhere.
Oh, I'm gonna throw that one on my list too, because I definitely like to be mentally stimulated.
Yes.
Especially because looks fade.
Yeah. Like, you can't hold a conversation.
You gotta have something to hold on to. Like you say, looks fade. So it's gotta be something there other than that.
Yeah.
And to me, that goes back to what I said about being goal oriented. You gotta bring something to the table.
Right. Other than pretty face.
Yes.
Yeah. And you don't have to be pretty.
But like, I think some men think just attractive and money, and it's no, we need more.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's because there are a lot of superficial women out here, and you know, if there's nothing more required of them, then that's just how they are. You know. So, but I had a couple of more.
Okay, what you got?
So, so if you have more than 2 baby mamas, that says a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that relationships come and go, and people get married and people get divorced. But if you just out here just making kids all willy-nilly, and you got a couple of kids by this person and a couple of kids by that person and a couple of kids, that says something about you. Truly. So I would have a problem with that. Not that I would have a problem with the kids, because again, they didn't ask to be here, but a man with a bunch of kids and a bunch of exes, just and I would have a problem. I don't know. I think younger me would have a problem with somebody with a bunch of kids. This age, I probably would have a problem with it, because it, you know, sometimes adult children will try to run the parents. And so if you got a bunch of different children that I have to contend with, I think that would be a problem, especially if you know, have overreaching kids who try to dictate what's going on in your life. That would be an issue for me.
Was that your last one?
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think I had quite a list.
Yeah, well,
real quick with this kid situation. Now, what if they took really good care of their kids?
You know what? I wouldn't have a problem with that if they took really good care. But to me, relationships are, so when you're dating and you are younger, you have little kids, and we talked about this in a previous podcast. To me, that's easy. Okay. But now we're talking about you have adult kids, and like with me, I'm close to you guys. And so if I were to meet somebody, of course, I would be like, okay, so what do y'all think, or whatever. Everybody's going to get their own opinion. But with you guys are not going to interfere in my relationship. If I chose to date the person, y'all gonna be like, okay, you know. And I even feel like even if you didn't like probably care for him for whatever reason, you know, you still wouldn't interfere. You just like, mama, that is, you know, for whatever reason, he's not my cup of tea or whatever. But you wouldn't interfere. Right. Whereas I think with men, especially men having daughters, like I can think of one guy that we were talking, and we did not wind up dating because there was a little distance between where we live. And he's still a nice guy. We, you know, talk on and off to this day. But I didn't realize at the time, like, he had like 5 daughters. He had been married and he was divorced, and they were all by his wife. But then I'm thinking, like, whoa, you know, and I'm pretty sure they would have had issues. So and it's funny because I want to say he's like single to this day. And I'm probably thinking like maybe his daughter's got something to do with it, because he is really, really close to his daughter. And I was just like, oh, so I just think that it might be a problem. These are things that I think about, and talking about getting with a person, so.
Now with you, so as we are millennials, do you find that with age your list of non-negotiables becomes longer? Because there's often that stereotype that once us women reach a certain age, we aren't as desirable or as wanted, so we tend to allow things to slide. For me personally, that's not the case. But do you find like you are willing to accept more when it comes to your non-negotiables? Are you like, you know what, I'm firm in what it is, I'm not willing to budge on?
No, I think it's actually the opposite. I think the more I age, the more I realize, oh, okay, yeah, no, I wouldn't want that either. Like something that I questioned when I was coming up with this list was like health-wise, because you all know I'm really big in fitness now.
Right.
And I was like, would I want to only date somebody who else cares about their health and their lifestyle like I do? And it was like, well, no, I don't think so. It was like, I've always found not anymore, but I used to find Rick Ross and Gucci really attractive. Like, well, I don't think Gucci is attractive, but I used to really find them attractive as bigger guys. Like, and so I still find bigger, healthier.
I was wondering if you still,
healthier guys.
Like DJ Khaled size guy.
If he got a belly, I'm still looking like. And that means he can feed me. He like to eat.
So in other words, you don't mind the bolder belly.
I don't mind the belly. I do not mind it.
Healthy.
As long as he's healthy, he's not on 600-pound life. Like we know that's too far. But if he, if he carrying a few months, it's all right. I'm okay with that.
You know what? And I feel like too, the great thing is when it comes to partnering, you may, who knows, you may motivate them to get in the gym. You know what?
You never know.
Them every day. I'm gonna go ahead and seek out the gym. Yes. And that would be one instance where, I wouldn't necessarily feel like I'm having to motor, come on, like get up and go to the gym. If they're willing to, and I feel like that's a really good way to bring y'all closer, going through something like that.
Working out together.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah. So I don't think mine has become more relaxed. If anything, it has become more strict. Like, yeah, no, I'm not putting up with this now.
Is that you too?
Yeah, because you know what? I feel like for me, being older, I feel like I have less tolerance for things. Things that I will put up with at 25, I definitely won't put up with now. And so, and then too, I have more self-worth. Like I know who I am. I know what I am, whose I am, what I'm capable of. And if you don't see the jewel that you have in me, something is wrong. If you don't cherish that, because I don't spend my time with everybody, I'm not out here, you know what I'm saying? So I think as women, we need to become more aware of who we are and what our value in our work. And in today's society, unfortunately, we have this whole red pill epidemic thing going on with men. And it's very toxic, and, men, the roles between men and women have almost flipped. Now it's like the man is the prize, and you have women out here proposing to men and all that kind of craziness. And I just, no. And you know what? And I truly believe if you give it time and you stand firm on what you want, and you are patient, I really believe the person that you are supposed to be with will come into your life.
I feel like dating would be a lot better too. I feel like if that was all the way around too, especially like, you know how there are so many women on this celibacy journey, and I'm starting to see where men are adopting that lifestyle as well. And honestly, I hope it continues. I hope people do become more selective about who it is they decide to partner with, or because I do feel like ultimately that, to me, it just seems like that may be really good for the dating pool now. And then too, I think that's something else that I find attractive here recently, is hearing about men, you know, be on celibacy journeys, because I'm like, okay, I love that self-control, you know. I don't know. I feel like too, with celibacy, I do feel like people are a lot more discerning about who they allow, you know, in their circles. All of that thing goes back to that self-awareness we talked about, and that emotional maturity. I think, you know, it takes emotional maturity to go on years-long celibacy.
And you gotta think about it. Somebody that's capable of, especially in this day and age where we know like STDs are rampant. Somebody that's jumping and hopping in and out of bed with people just indiscriminately is something wrong with that person. You know, this is not the type of person that you want to be around or have in your life, because there's something wrong. Obviously, they have not healed. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on their part. And that's just something that you don't want to be bothered with, especially when you have your life together.
You know what? I think that is one more non-negotiable, is somebody that has not gone on their own healing journey. Because I put a lot of time and work and effort and self-reflection into myself, and it's been years. And I think it would be so unfair to me to allow somebody to come into my life that has not done the same work, and tear down what I've worked, you know, so hard to achieve with this getting to know and love myself and healing myself. And you know, I know that we talked about that too, like healing is hard.
It is. And I think you just touched on something important that I would also add as a non-negotiable, is if you don't have self-love, like if you don't enjoy your own company, why would I enjoy yours? Like, why would we spend time together if you don't love yourself? And I feel like celibacy is an act of self-love, because it's like, not everybody deserves me. Like, meet this part of me, because that is something very intimate. So,
But you know, it's just, I don't know, but you look at other people and you think like, and this is, and let me say this to our audience. This is not to judge or criticize anybody. These are just our opinions and our beliefs. And we know that maturity and growth takes time.
And everybody has a different journey.
Everybody has a different timeline. So again, this is not to judge or criticize anybody, you know, but realistically, we're just saying, in order, and this is all leading towards having, no relationship is perfect, but where you can minimize, where you see, you know, red flags or whatever, you definitely want to head those things off at the pass. You want to give your relationship the best possible chance of making it. So,
and cut it off as early as you can.
Yeah, and cut it off.
You know, don't wait. year, you see red flags within the first couple weeks, don't give it months, for feelings to deepen, because then it's that much harder to cut it off.
And it's funny because I met men and had conversations with them, and gotten to know them on a friend level enough to know that, hey, I see some things in you. Have you gone to therapy? It's nothing wrong with that. Again, we as African Americans have to understand it's absolutely nothing wrong with going to therapy, going to talk to somebody, and, getting this true understanding of who you are and why you operate the way that you do. And I've had a few came back and told me that, you know what? I did. I went to therapy, and so I'm happy, but it's a lot of people are not self-aware. And that's what it really boils down to, just being self-aware. So
and then just to take it back really quickly to the celibacy thing, something that turns me off is when a guy just will freely send me a picture of himself, and it's you giving it up this easy. That means you give it up to everybody this easy.
Absolutely.
Because now it's giving cheap, and I don't want cheap.
Yes. And not only that, if you did this for me, how many times have you sent? How many times have you sent that picture? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's something that turns me off immediately. It's like,
and let's just be honest, it's childish.
Yeah. So I'm not asking.
Yeah, I didn't ask.
I'm about to say, if I'm not asking.
I didn't ask for to care less. Right.
So now, don't just, surprise me with that. Yeah, it does not have the effect, at least on me, that
I was gonna say in my past life. I would prefer a video. You want video? I didn't say my name, so I know it's fresh.
That's all I can do. I can't.
No, she said she needed to make a movie.
Oh,
I just said say my name, so I know it's fresh. Ain't nobody else getting this.
And you know what? It's a good thing you ain't forming you then.
Huh? You're not forming me.
Well, ladies.
Just saying, hot off the press.
Do we have any more
any nuggets to leave the audience?
Yeah, do we have any nuggets that we can leave the audience? Do you a word of advice, a word of wisdom, something?
I have a lovely quote that I want to share.
Well, before you weight us down with that quote.
Okay.
To just give people a preview of what's to come next, we will be discussing weight and our health journeys, weight loss journeys, and just dieting overall. So please join us for that show. I think we have some really fun before and after pictures to share, and just hopefully motivate you guys. And on that note, I am gonna go ahead and throw it back to Jasmine so she can leave us with our quote of the day.
But before I hop into my quote, I do want to say thank you so very much if you have made it this far into this episode. Thank you so much. I hope you got a laugh. I hope you learned something. I hope that you say, you know what? That's actually a good non-negotiable. I'm going to add that to my list. That's what we hope.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And if that is so, please leave a comment and share with us. Or if you have some non-negotiables that we did not mention, please comment down below.
We'd love to hear them.
Yes, please, please, please. And if you haven't yet already, hit that subscribe button. Again, we are on the road to 50 subscribers, and you do not want to miss that giveaway. But to get into our quote, never let a fool kiss you or a kiss fool you, by Joey.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Who said that?
That is by Joey Adams.
Okay.
Yeah, that man knew what he was talking about.
Yes, he did.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's deep. I like it. You came with the fire. That's more ways than one.
was fitting for our non-negotiables.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. That was cool.
Well, on that note, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I always enjoy the episodes we do,
Yes.
but some of them hit a little different than others, and this is definitely one of my favorites, I think, today.
Yeah.
And so on that note, like Jasmine said, we thank y'all so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys lending us your ear twice a week. And we will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.